those are the only things. So we're going to start again from the beginning. Hi, my name is Araya Velasquez, and welcome to the Global Dolphin Star Temple Meditation. This month we're going to be focusing mostly on divine masculine and feminine because of the February 14th holiday. And so we're going to be learning to heal the channels that we run masculine and feminine energy, as well as create a space where we can release old stories from the past. Now, the Pleiadian Lightwork was started by Amor Kuan Yin and anchored as a mystery school in the 80s. She wrote the book called the Pleiadian Workbook, and so now she's created this whole amazing worldwide web of teachers. So we're going to be sharing some of the teachings from her, and in addition to bringing in some recent downloads and activations that will help you through the Pleiadians. Pleiadian Lightwork has impacted my life in so many amazing ways. It's changed my external reality as a more happy, joyful reality, but it's also done that through first changing my internal reality by clearing my energy field through the light, through different energy repatterning and rebuilding of the energy field and the energy fields. And so I am so blessed now to be able to share and teach this work today. So I hope you enjoy our meditation today, and I'll turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Araya. Hello, everyone. My name is Yeshua Love Dragon, and I'm here to help assist in today's meditation. Pleiadian Lightwork for me has truly impacted my life in such a short period of time. It's really altered the course of my life by really allowing a lot of the transition to start within myself and to really look within with a lot of the teachings and practices that I've learned over the years. And honestly, I just have so much gratitude for Amor Kuan Yin and so much appreciation for these teachings and for this lineage. And I'm so grateful to share this space with you today and drop into a little meditation. So with that being said, let us slowly come into a seated posture or a comfortable position for you that could be laying down. And we will begin by slowly closing our eyes and just becoming aware of our bodies. Maybe observing the inhales and exhales of the breath. And from this place, you can either push your aura out or pull your aura in to about 9 feet in diameter in all directions, both above and below. And you can visualize or feel the protection of the rainbow violet flame that surrounds this aura. And for men, we will drop a grounding cord from the first chakra, and women from the second chakra. This will be about 6 to 8 inches in diameter, and we will be dropping this grounding cord down to earth core crystal, moving through all of the layers of the earth until you feel that you are connected and rooted to the earth consciousness. It can be any color of your choice. And from this place of grounding into the earth consciousness and grounding into the lineage through Amor Kuan Yin, we can begin to visualize the golden sun roughly 3 feet above the crown of the head. And this golden sun will be filling up our aura with golden white light, and will be filling and healing our healing channels. Our healing channels come in through the crown of the head, they come down the back of the spine, they come up the front of the body to again circulate, and they also come out the palms of the hands. So begin to feel and visualize this golden white light circulating through your healing channels. as well as filling and pervading all of the space of our aura. And from this place, we're going to call upon our higher selves of the light to fill our tube of light and to activate the silver cord. So with that, we will inhale together and exhale. Here you can feel ourselves more connected to our higher self or to our true nature. And from this place, we are now ready to drop into our meditation together.
Thank you, Yeshua. So we're going to first start, before we move into our more tantric meditation, we're going to start with summoning a memory of a relationship that we've had in the past. And so what we're going to be doing is using Amora's technique of clearing cords, contracts, and beliefs to release old stories about what we may still be carrying from the past that might impact our current relationships or future relationships that we might choose to participate in. So closing the eyes and just ask to be shown a relationship. It could be a picture of a person or a scene from your life that you feel like you still have something you need to let go of. So let's just take a moment to receive that message. We welcome the Dolphin Star Temple system to anchor here with us, to help us, guide us with this, and give us these images or image. So I'm just going to take a moment and ask for that for myself too. We're going to be going through this whole process together. Okay, when you see the image or the scene from your life, just kind of acknowledge, okay, that's who I'm going to be working with today. That's what I'm going to be working with. And just ask the body to tell you, as you breathe into the body, where you might still have an old psychic cord with that person, a cord of energy that was attached in the past, that was utilized for either, it could be control or an unhealthy way of connecting, and that cord kept you tied into that. So no matter what, whether you wanted it to be in it or not, you would get pulled back into a certain dynamic. So just the way you can feel where the cord is you want to tune in to where your body is not as open, where you feel like you can't breathe as deeply. And since we're in this sacred space, just trust the first thing that you hear. Sometimes it's easy to doubt and go, I don't know where it is. Even if you're not the kind of person that's a feeling person in the body, just, you do know how to breathe, right? So as soon as you find the place where the breath isn't going, that's the place. So let's just take a moment to locate that. And that cord of energy is literally going to be like a tendril coming out of your field. It might be the size of a little rope. It might be the size of a tree trunk. You get all kinds of cords of energy. And this cord is still keeping you attached to that person, whether you're with them or not. So what we want to do now is we want to ask our inner self and our higher self, what is keeping that cord connected? Is there some sort of belief we're still holding? Is there a psychic contract with that person? And examples of a belief or contract could be, I need to be in a dynamic where I learn to deal with my anger. Or I need to be in a dynamic where I've agreed that this is a karmic energy I have to move through, and we're going to clear our karma in this lifetime, so we've got to do this together for 5 years or whatever it is. So that could be a contract. Or a belief could be something about male or female. Women are always nagging me, and that's maybe your mom you're reminded of. Whatever comes up is the right thing. So just take a moment to figure out, what is that? not figured out, just let it enter the consciousness. It doesn't have to be so much mind. And if you find yourself starting to leave your body, go ahead and put a new grounding cord down. Because sometimes when we start reaching these places in our body, we want to go away. We want to fly out of the body. So if you start feeling, whoa, I'm starting to not focus, or I'm losing my thoughts, go ahead and send a new grounding cord. Pick an even darker color and put it into the Earth Star crystal. And ground back in. Okay. So once you have that belief or contract, if it's a belief, you're going to see where you feel that belief in your body. So the belief, whatever it was, you're going to kind of say it internally. Women always nag me, whatever it is. And you want to see where, if there's anywhere else that your body reacts when you say that. Maybe you feel a little pain in your body. Maybe you feel like another area not as open in the breath. And breathing and feeling where that is. Maybe you hear where that is. Maybe you just somehow know where it is. We sometimes get information in different ways, right? And then breathing into that area and just giving some love and gratitude to that area. Thank you, body, for holding that for me. I needed you once. For some reason, I was learning from this. I needed this once, but I no longer need this. And I release this. And inhale and exhaling out of that part of the body. And now if it was a contract, go ahead and imagine you've got a contract with that person, a physicalized contract, like it's a piece of paper, and it says what you heard. We're gonna do this karmic thing together for 5 years, or for this. It could even say for the whole lifetime, and you don't wanna do that. Like, you feel complete with that. You don't have to play that out. And using a healing tool or cancel stamp, you're gonna imagine you've got a little stamp, it says canceled. Go ahead and cancel the contract. Stamp all over it. Cancel, 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 cancel. See yourself tearing the contract up, and all the pieces go in a beautiful rainbow flame bonfire, transmuting and dissolving that energy back into the light. Now we're going to remove the cord. So wherever you felt there was that cord, you can even kind of touch your body where you felt it was and gently, it's like you're gonna just gently dislodge it and pull it off. You can treat it like it was really a physical object. And that long tendril gets thrown up out of the cones of light, which act like an amazing vacuum cleaner to cleanse the energy field. And in the Pleiadian Lightwork system, we never leave any spaces open. We want to cleanse the space and fill it with light. So anywhere that you breathed out beliefs, anywhere that your cord was, you want to go ahead and pick a healing color to fill that area with. Make sure that hole is completely filled with a color of your choice. just notice your breath and how it opens up that space where you release that. That area is now more open, more whole, more healed. Now, you could probably make a list of these. So this is just the beginning today. In Amora's book, The Pleiadian Workbook, she actually has us go through all the beliefs and contracts we have about men and women. And I highly recommend doing that because those are limitations from either bringing in true love or experiencing the purity of your connection with someone that you're already with. And that's kind of what today's meditation's philosophy is really about. It's about purifying so that you can have the experience of divine masculine, divine feminine with someone, or if you choose to be alone, with your own twin flame energy. And just to go into twin flame is the counterpart of ourself. It's like the other half of us, and sometimes that person actually exists in a physical body, and sometimes they're on the spirit plane. But basically they share the same soul. So if you are, we're going to be calling in the next part of this meditation, either a potential partner or the current partner we're with, or the twin flame energy if you want, to start to heal that male-female energy. And that's the great thing about us, that we are both made up of male-female energies within ourselves. So we don't have to have someone necessarily to become whole. But when we do become whole and engage with someone, then it's that much more powerful. Mm-hmm. You want to say anything about that before we go to the next part?
Yeah, I'd just like to share in terms of relating that these twin flame relationships that we're speaking to, they don't have to look a certain way. They don't need to be a marriage with kids. They could be with a family member or a very close friend. They could be something that you may not expect or that you may not have heard before. So just to share that perspective with you, to be open and not closed off to any sort of perspective on what that counterpart may look for you. And also just to share the perspective that when we are looking to call that counterpart in, we are looking within ourselves to find any areas where we may not be whole or we're limiting ourselves. So a lot of the work that we're going to do in this next meditation is going to be how we can look within ourselves to help attract that counterpart or to deepen the relationship with yourself. So.
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful. Yeah, and obviously if your twin flame energy is with, a family member, you're running that energy in a different way, but we're still wanting to keep the channels open. So this next part is around connecting the second chakra to the heart, out to either partner that you're with, someone you imagine that you would be with, and you don't have to see a face. You want to you could get a feeling about it, what they would feel like, and it's just like a presence of energy in front of you. Or you could actually summon the twin flame to be standing in front of you. So I'd like you all to call in that energy, that person right now, to be with you and in front of you. And they're facing you, maybe. So I think we're gonna kind of do like a example for you. So we're gonna show you, but it's all happening energetically, but okay. So the channel that we're gonna be running, again, goes from second chakra to heart. First, we're gonna look at our own channel there, okay? And then ultimately we're gonna share that energy in a figure 8. So Dolphin Star Temple, we work with dolphin energy, and dolphins tend to move in that type of a shape. So that's why it's natural also for us when we're activating to do the same, because that's a very high vibrational symbol of energy and movement. Infinity, right? It's like creation, or has some of that vibration in it. So taking a look, imagining you have this thin channel that runs from second chakra to heart, which runs the love vibration there, and your own, if you're in a romantic, your own tantric energy, or just the flow of love, pure love. And I want you to imagine that it's this tunnel that you're looking at. And so now what you want to do is you want to examine the tunnel. And again, some people, they're like, I don't see, so if visual is hard, then feel it or think it or ask the question, is this, what's going on in this tunnel here? Is it full of pain? Is it clear? Is it just full of light? Do you see any cords in there, like we were talking about earlier? Do you see, is the energy running from there? What Amora talked about a lot was that sometimes we start running the energy from our root chakra all the way up to the heart, and that's when it becomes more lust-based if you're in a sexual relationship. And so you want to see, is the energy not even running from the second chakra? Is it just running from the root? And if that's the case, you want to kind of consciously say, okay, we're going to move it up. We're moving up the beginning of that energy. And now taking a look and see if there was pain in there. We're going to go ahead and imagine you can place violet light all on top of the pain. And not going too deep into the pain and healing tools because I don't want to overwhelm anybody, but imagine you're just receiving a tool that helps release and suck out that pain. Whatever that looks like for you. And if there was fear, we use roses. So imagine you have this big open rose that's sucking out fear. Or anger. If there's anger, you can see a wonderful red color overlaying that anger, and then the rose sucks it out. It's called blowing roses. So we take this rose, we suck all the energy out, and then we blow it up above us. It just dissolves. Or any other emotion, sadness, all the gamut of emotions, we're sucking it out with the rose. And the rose starts to shrivel and we throw it up and dissolve it. So let's take a moment to work in that channel for a minute or so. Okay, so also in the Pleiadian Lightwork system, we work with the Syrians, the Syrian Archangelic League of the Light. So we welcome the Syrian Archangelic League of the Light to help us in rebuilding this channel. So maybe there's some broken pieces. When you look in that tunnel, is the channel missing pieces of it? Because the Syrians will give you that piece. So if you see little holes and broken pieces of the channel, we welcome the Syrians of the light to hand you that piece, or to put that piece back in. You can take if they handed it to you, you can just kind of take that piece and plug it in where it belongs. Or you can let the Syrians put it in where it belongs. And for the purpose of this reweaving, we call in a key QTG chamber of light. A key quantum transfiguration chamber of light. So this beautiful golden grid is anchoring around us all. For anyone who needs reweaving, we're reweaving the channel with that beautiful golden grid, golden rays crisscrossing everywhere in a box all around. It can anchor around our whole energy field, or it can anchor in a very small location in the body. So taking a moment and letting that key QTG, key quantum transfiguration grid, reweave the channel if you need it. And if you don't need it, maybe it's just strengthening the energy there. I love these QTGs. They're wonderful to lay down in or fall asleep in.
Yeah, these key QTG tools that we have, they give us an opportunity to really integrate those parts back into ourselves and help that healing process. So it's such an amazing tool that we have and that we're given to help reintegrate those parts or pieces back into the whole.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like a lot of times I tell people, plate and light work is your quick path, because with counseling, not that that's not helpful, sometimes you talk about things, but then you still got a broken channel, you know, and so you still have the problem. It's still there. So I love plate and light work for really going to the core root of the problem and allowing the true healing to happen on a deeper level. All right, so maybe you feel like, okay, you're still reweaving your channel, and so that would be something you could fall asleep in tonight and go, okay guys, keep doing the work, finish the work on me at calling back the Syrians tonight before you go to sleep. But for now, we're gonna continue and see how the energy flows. So now is when you summon that counterpart, whether it be twin flame, person you imagine to be with, or your current partner, to be in front of you energetically or for real if you're with them now. And you want to start to see an energy, maybe it's kind of a sparkling white light. It's essentially your own tantric energy starting to activate it from your second chakra. You're seeing or feeling this tantric energy moving up from the second chakra, intending it, even if you don't feel it, you're intending it into the heart space, and you're exhaling it out into the heart space of that person in a figure 8. So it's like up and then send it in a figure 8 out into that person's heart, and then they can run the energy down to their second chakra and back up in a figure 8, back down. Or maybe you see it like, actually they're showing me, it goes, you can do it this way too, up into the heart, and it goes down into their second chakra, creating that figure 8 now up into their heart, and it weaves into an 8 down into your second chakra, back from the heart, back down to their second chakra, creating that infinity symbol. So start to anchor that energy. You can just feel it, see it, think it, intend it. And as that energy is running, you may have resistance come up. You may have pain come up. You may have thoughts or feelings come up. So you want to acknowledge them and allow yourself to release. If you have to breathe out another belief, you can do that. If you have to release more pain, you use your roses to suck energy out. let the figure 8 do the healing for you. It's cleansing and purifying that connection. We welcome the dolphin beings to be here right now of the light to help us with this, to heal us, to guide us in this cleansing, in this purification, and in this ultimately ecstatic bliss practice of sharing that energy. And if you feel kind of like a rock in any of the areas, or just something in there that's resistant, so breathing into that area and letting more of that sparkling white light purify those blocks. For so much of us, it's fear of vulnerability. What would happen if we're too vulnerable? How would we be hurt? Maybe even anchoring an affirmation for the body, a positive affirmation. I trust in my alignment with my divine counterpart. And once you've ran that for a moment, a little tool that Amora uses is a manual and automatic switch. So imagine you've got this little switch in your energy field and it says manual or automatic. We're going to put that energy on automatic. That channel can always remain open. And I kind of can hear in the group collective consciousness, oh no, if it remains open, from the female, oh, what if I'm not received? And from the masculine, what if, that's, I want to, that's too much surrender. That's too much, I'll be taken over. So masculine and feminine healing is so much about receiving and surrendering. So letting the body know the message, it's safe to receive and surrender in my healed, divine masculine and feminine state. It's safe to receive and surrender. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to Yeshua now, and he's going to give us another pathway we can run some energy to align divine masculine and feminine.
So just to quickly touch on one of the last things that Arai said, for the masculine figures out there, it is really a testament and a really deep opportunity to really surrender to the feminine as an act of respect, to be of service to the feminine. And that does not give the female figure more power over the feminine figure or vice versa. It's just a mutual respect and understanding of really, if we're relating to the infinity here and the way that, in reflection to the way that the creature of the dolphin moves, it's just a circle of giving and receiving and keeping that flow open, and keeping that open within ourselves. So for the male figures out there, it's really important to maybe sometimes be soft and to be a little bit more compassionate. And that in no way implies any stories that I'm hearing will come up around that, of being, the man of the house, or any of those stories that we've been told since childhood. And so really, there's amazing opportunity here for couples or for someone to ask these questions to themselves of where can I serve my partner from a more open place, or how can we be more open and honest in our conversations and communications. And so that's something really important to reflect on in those relationships. And with that, and on the topic here of the infinity symbol and the way that these dolphin creatures move is really a reflection for us of their moving in their divine nature and divine flow, which in return is what we are really cultivating in these relationships. And oftentimes what we experience in the feminine or in the masculine figure is really a reflection for us to look at within ourselves and to be able to communicate that to our partner or to our friend or whatever kind of relationship it is, and to really respect what the universe is what it's putting in front of you to reflect back to you on what you may need to look at within yourself. So with that, and on the topic of the tantric channels, we have the teaching which runs very similarly in line with Amora's teachings and the movement of the dolphin, which is called the Microcosmic Orbit. And this here is also a figure 8 infinity type channel, but instead of running it within yourself, it now incorporates a feminine or masculine figure involved. And that channel will start for men at the perineum, and that will run up the back of the spine, up the central channel, and it'll come up over the head, and from that place it'll go directly down and repeat that same cycle through the feminine, or for females through the masculine figure, of running that microcosmic orbit energy and being able to keep that channel open and clear between you and your partner in your relationship. So that is just a piece of awareness to hold, that we all have these energies moving through us whenever we're relating with another person, even if that is a male figure and a male figure, or if that's a female figure and a female figure.
Of course, you read my mind.
And from that place, it's really just an opportunity for us to be more aware of how we're giving and receiving energy, and if we're closing off our own energy, or if we're feeling our energy of our partner being closed. That's really an opportunity to have a discussion around those topics. So
yeah. So do we want to practice for 1 minute or two running that figure 8 in
yeah,
so it's basically from it's from the female genitals up to the crown, or
up
no,
the
we're
back
going up
of the spine, and it'll come down around the front of the body and then into
the perineum,
into that same channel, but just on the opposite of the figure,
up the spine, and
Correct.
then down the front of your body.
For both the male and the figure, the channel starts either at the perineum or the G center, and it'll run up the backs of the spines, it'll come up over the brain, and it'll come down in line with the middle of the chest, and then it will go in transition to complete the figure 8 with that female or male partner.
Yeah, so you're sending it then up their spine, and goes down, and then it comes back around up my spine, down, so you can see how it makes that 8.
Yes, and so at the same time that you're sending that energy to your partner, you also have split awareness on receiving from your partner their energy as well. So it's really an opportunity to tune in with your partner or whatever relationship or individual this may be. And so we're going to go through a little practice, and there may be things that come up between you and your partner, of maybe not feeling your partner's energy or them keeping it to themselves. However it may look, we'll take an opportunity after that and on your own time to kind of have a discussion around how that experience was for you.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. Yeah, that's so true. That's such a good point. How you experience it. You can get offended, like, how come I don't feel it, or why I feel like they're closed, and you can get hurt. And so you want to let this process surface all that.
Yeah, it's really an opportunity for us to look at unintegrated emotional trauma that's still stored in the body, and to allow it to be brought to the light by having a conversation around it, and not stuffing it back inside and not wanting to talk about it, or not wanting to look at it or address it. It's giving us the opportunity to just sit down and say, hey, this is what I'm currently feeling and experiencing from you, and being able to move through that in a graceful way. So
Beautiful. And this one is more tuned in for people that are in a relationship, right? It's not, this wouldn't, like, let's say your twin flame is your child, like, this is more of a practice for a tantric couple.
Correct.
Right?
And for those of you who are single and looking to continue to cultivate energy in your way, in that way, some of you may already be aware of certain practices, but this microcosmic orbit can also be run within one's own self to keep the energy clear and potent within themselves, whether that's a male or a female figure. So this really applies to anyone and everyone. So,
Okay, should we start it?
yeah, so why don't we begin by just gently closing our eyes, and for those of you who are with your partner, come into a seated position facing your partner. And for those of you who are calling in that partner, have them energetically come sit in front of you. And for those of you who are looking to cultivate that path within yourself, take a comfortable seated posture and begin just by becoming aware of the breath, and becoming aware of if the breath is shallow or if you have long, deep breathing. And from here, you're going to be in sync with your partner. You're going to be inhaling together and exhaling together. And as we're inhaling, we're slowly pulling that tantric energy from the perineum and bringing it up, passing through a few points on the back of the spine, the coccyx and the C4 vertebrae, as well as the jade pillow on the back of the neck. And we will be circulating that energy together. So why don't we all inhale together and exhale. Inhale. First here, just becoming aware of your own channels, your own microcosmic orbit. Exhale. And now becoming aware of your partner. And on this next inhale, we'll begin to start to circulate this energy in the form of the figure 8 or the infinity symbol.
So it's going all the way up to our crown.
Correct, and then it's coming down around the crown, and from our navel center, it'll be then going down and entering through your partner and their either G center or their perineum. And that'll be completing the loop of the figure 8. Just be aware if any beliefs come up, if there's any stories, or if there's any visuals or images that may appear. Just allow yourself to observe them, but to take note of them.
And for those that are still looking for the partnership, it can bring up the energy of longing. And a lot of in Sikh philosophy, the longing will bring in the love. So even though it has an aching energy to it, surrender to the longing, because that's actually part of the love vibration, believe it or not. That longing being, and then the longing being met.
So let's complete this small exercise by taking 5 more inhales and exhales together with your partner or with yourself. And just remember, very similarly to how we have a automatic and manual switch, that this energy is always being run with every interaction and every experience we have. So just to be aware of who we're opening our energy to, who we're closing our energy to, especially if you're someone who is in public places very often. Yeah, it's just something to begin to cultivate a small practice of awareness on, am I giving that person energy? Do I feel their energy? So how can we, just become more aware of our interactions and relationships on a more subtle level?
Yeah, oh my goodness, amazing point. Yeah, because sometimes we can be sharing that energy with people we don't want. So I'm having you guys anchor an affirmation about it's safe to do it, but make sure you're using, Amora used to always talk about this, discernment. You know, we're using discernment on who we want to run that energy with. And that's very important in making sure it's appropriate, and healthy for you, and positive and supportive. All right, well, this has been amazing. Thank you all for joining us. If you want to know more about the Dolphin Star Temple, you can go to www.dolphinstartemple.org and find out more about Pleiadian Lightwork and find practitioners. And we also have a website. Did you want to? www.pleiadiantantra.com. And thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
Thank you so much, everyone. It was such a pleasure to come on here and just share with you and spread some love and kindness around this amazing holiday, and really hope to keep in contact with anyone that wants to learn more about this style of work. And again, just so grateful for everything that Amora Kuan Yin has provided me, and all of the teachings and tools that I get to use in my everyday life. So
yes, she's actually been kind of standing right there the whole time. And she loves this. She loves Tantra. This is such a big part of her work, and she still continues to impulse here for us, that anchoring of the original blueprint of the divine masculine and feminine, so within or in an external reality. So blessings.
Yes. Thank you all so much. Bye.